What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with that real boxing talk on this good Sunday afternoon grind. Back with the boxing clinic, talking about the truth and facts behind why Andre Ward and Adonis Stevenson will not get made. Now we know that Al Heyman used to be the major player over at HBO. You know, HBO got tired of him draining his money out with his fighters. He was overpricing his fighters to appear on HBO. Famously, Andre Berto. HBO invested a lot of money in Andre Berto. And Andre Berto, flopped. And I think that was the beginning of the end with HBO, and the beginning of the end with HBO and Al Heyman at that point. And, Al Heyman, swooped one of their fighters to stop one of their biggest fights on HBO happening at the time. That was Sergey Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson. They were in negotiations to fight. And Adonis Stevenson all of a sudden did a 180 and signed with Al Heyman and ran over to Showtime. And a lot of people were angry. And that's where Adonis Stevenson hate legitimately started at. When people felt like he jumped ship to Showtime to avoid Sergey Kovalev, even though him and Kovalev would enter negotiation to a purse bid, and Kovalev pulled out because, somebody was going to win the purse bid on Adonis Stevenson's behalf. I can't remember who. And the fight was going to have to go down on PBC. And Kovalev had a contract with HBO. He was obligated to fight on HBO. He didn't want to. I guess HBO didn't want him to go on PBC. So he dropped out the negotiations. So a lot of people don't know that part. But that's where the hate started for Adonis Stevenson. It is just steamroll when him fighting your mid-level to lower-level guy every time. But his bank account is just is better than Kovalev's. It might be on par even after the two, $6 million and $7 million or around that range for both fights for Andre Ward and Kovalev. He made like $6 and then $7 million respectively. Adonis Stevenson bank account may still be up there with Andre Ward for fighting mid-level and lower-level guys. So business-wise, Adonis Stevenson is the clear winner. Boxing-wise, he's a clear loser because every time he fights, it's a mid-level, lower-level guy we know he's going to beat, And Al Heyman has the majority of the top 10 light heavyweight at WBC. So when he's ready to, turn over, his portion of WBC over to somebody else in his stable, he'll be ready. He don't want to turn it over to Andre Ward, and I'll get into that in a minute. The one guy with the most promise to beat Adonis Stevenson for that belt is Arthur Betterbeeve. But, he started to make a comeback. He squared things away with his promoter. But the real reason why this fight won't happen, it's not because Andre Ward, in my opinion. It could be because of Andre Ward. We get into that in a minute. The real reason is the beef between Jay-Z and Al Heyman. We know Adonis Stevenson already beat Tony Bellew and knocked him out. Now Andre Ward is talking about moving up another weight class when we felt like it was a stretch at light heavyweight for him. But he ended up getting acclimated, getting his knee and whatever else he had wrong with, and he ended up dogging out Sergey Kovalev. Now, some people think it's a stretch to go to cruiserweight for him for the simple reason that we think he don't punch hard enough. He's not physically strong enough to deal with him. But I think he can beat Tony Bellew. But competing with the Alexander Usyk and those guys, the one of the Super Boxing Super Series, I don't know if he wants to stay up there and make a home. And I don't know if he wants to go up there and then come back down. I think it could be the beginning of the end of Andre Ward with retirement if he goes up to cruiserweight, even though he's talked about moving up to heavyweight to fight Anthony Joshua, even though that's crazy. But that's what his trainer talking about. But the real beef is Al Heyman and Jay-Z. They don't want nothing to do with each other as far as business-wise. They have beef because Al Heyman used to be in the business tour, the music business, and doing tours, rapper tours, and somehow him and Jay-Z have beef over a tour. Obviously, it's probably over money. And Jay-Z's wife, before they got married, sued Al Heyman. So it's a whole big beef between, the triangle, the two, Jay and B and Beyonce and Al Heyman. And Al Heyman do anything to make sure that Jay-Z not succeed in the sport, knowing that Jay-Z has the upper echelon fighter here, the better fighter. Al Heyman is not going to be in a rush for Adonis Stevenson to hand over his title to Jay-Z and Rock Nation, knowing that he has a lot of players at light heavyweight that he can hand it off to. He'd rather hand it off to Arthur Betterbeeve and have Arthur Betterbeeve go against Andre Ward before he lets Adonis Stevenson fight Andre Ward. I don't think they believe in Adonis Stevenson. So the beef is throwing a monkey wrench into them even negotiating. And that's why Andre Ward never says he wants to fight Adonis Stevenson, because he understands the stance, on that. He understands that ain't going to happen, especially with his manager James Prince and Floyd Mayweather having a long battle beef over the years, since James Prince used to manage Floyd and all the little things that come on with that. It's a big issue. It's a big issue. It's a fight that everybody wants to see coming, but the business side is going to stop it. And the fight probably never materialized, That's why Andre Ward is very passive. Adonis Stevenson is very loud about the fight. Oh, I want the fight. Till Andre Ward to call out, hey man, we want to make the fight. He's bullshitting. He knows that they're not going to make the fight. Obviously, him and Al have understanding that the fight is not going to happen. And Jay-Z and Andre Ward have understanding the fight going to happen. So stop talking about it. You didn't want to fight Kovalev. Now you don't want to fight Ward and make us look bad on you. It's damaging Adonis Stevenson legacy. Because Andre Ward beat the guy that everybody thought was the best at light heavyweight. And he dominated 168-pound super middleweight division already. Adonis Stevenson didn't dominate anything. The only reason that Adonis Stevenson is legitimately, credible at this division at light heavyweight is the simple fact he beat the lineal champion, Chad Dawson. After he went down to face Andre Ward, and then went back up to face him. And that's the only reason why. And the same thing goes for, Adonis Stevenson. Maybe Al Heyman is willing to negotiate the contract, but Adonis Stevenson didn't want to fight John Pascal neither for whatever reason. Even on the downside of Pascal's career, he didn't want to fight Pascal when that would have been a major fight in Canada. So this guy is allergic to fighting, big fights. I know John Pascal to y'all isn't a big fight, but in Canada it's a major fight. So he's allergic to making the big fights. Even if the money adds up, he still feels like he makes enough money fighting lower and mid-level guys. So it's understanding that, between the beef between these two guys and James Prince and Floyd Mayweather, which is connected to Jay-Z, Andre Ward, and then Al Heyman, it's not going to happen. It's the business side. Personally, it can happen. It happened with Kovalev.